Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Ava and I can't wait to share with you today's video. Today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite subjects to talk about, which is going to be weird books for weird girls or just weird people in general. This is a topic that I'm super passionate about. I love reading books that are defined as weird or off-putting or strange. That's my favorite genre and I can't wait to share with you some of my favorite recommendations from the genre. The first group slash category of people that we are going to talk about today is going to be an author known as Ottessa moshfegh. She is known for her novel My Year of Rest and Relaxation, a super popular novel all over Instagram, Book Talk, BookTube, Twitter, literally everywhere. This is a great novel to start out with. I have it right here. My Year of Rest and Relaxation. A lot of people say that it is overhyped, and I don't find that to be true, but I did read it at a time when it wasn't garnering any kind of popularity on social media, so I kind of discovered it a little bit on my own, and for that I'm really grateful that I read it at that time. I absolutely love this book. It's one of my favorites of all time and a great place again to start with Ottessa's work. Next I'm going to talk about her other work, but I'm going to kind of talk about them a little bit faster and not as individual, but more so kind of what books I would recommend you start out with and kind of like their weirdness level on each. So the first one we have is Homesick for Another World. This is going to be her short story collection. This is also a great beginning place if you want to get into her work, kind of get a little taste and something that you don't have to sit down and digest in one sitting like a novel. It's great because it has multiple short stories in it. Next we have Death in Her Hands. This is my least favorite of Ottessa's work. It's still great by all means, but it is my least favorite considering that the plot is just not as compelling as the other plots of the book. This one also features an older main character, which is just not my favorite perspective to follow, and so I definitely suggest going into other ones and going into this later if you decide that you are a big fan of Ottessa's work. Next we have Eileen. Eileen is also a great place to start. I know I've said that several times, but a lot of her novels are pretty good to start out with. I would suggest this one and also watching the movie adaptation because it's really good. It follows a woman who is working at a prison and has an alcoholic father, and she's taking care of her father, and she meets another woman who works at the prison and starts an interesting, strange bond with that woman. So this one is great, has a wonderful, amazing plot twist at the end, and I absolutely love this book. Last but not least is Lapvona. Lapvona is really good. It's not where I would start out if you're looking to get into moshfegh's work, honestly, but it is really good and probably her strangest, weirdest, grossest book that she's written so far. This is my favorite of her novels. Honestly, I love this book so much. Alongside My Year of Rest and Relaxation, those are my top two. But I read this one. This is the last novel of hers that I read, and so I was well versed in her work before I kind of jumped into it. But it kind of follows two main male characters. This is her only other novel with main male characters, and it follows one a boy and an older gentleman, and it is set in, I don't remember when it's set, but it's set a long time ago. And the boy has a very odd relationship with one of the women in the town, and then the older gentleman is the lord of the town, and they're going through kind of like a famine right now, and so he has to decide kind of how to take care of his people, and they make some not so great decisions along the way. Also, my Twilight shirt, love. I just thrifted this shirt not that long ago and I'm obsessed with it. Moving on, so the next kind of way that I'm going to split up these books are by two ways. One, books I have read and books I haven't read, and we're going to kind of talk about the books that are on my radar as well as the books that I have read and can wholly recommend as suggestions for weird girl book lit. Weird lit girl. Weird slash sad girl lit books. There we go. That's what I was trying to say. Our second author that we're going to talk about is Mona Awad. I just have two books to talk about right now for her. I have Rouge and also Bunny. So first we'll talk about Bunny. I'm going to put it right here because I don't have my physical copy. But Bunny is an amazing novel to start out with if you're wanting to get into kind of some weird book recommendations. I definitely would suggest it. It is kind of following this girl who, her name is Samantha, and she is part of this super elite school, and they're in the super elite program. There's three other girls, I think it's 3 or 4, and they all refer to each other as Bunny, and they have this very odd, very strange relationship. They invite Samantha in to kind of see what their group is like, and some really bizarre stuff begins to take place. It's a really great, like, kind of dark academia read as well if you're looking for that genre. Next, by Mona Awad, we have Rouge. Rouge is my favorite of the 2 books that I've read by Mona Awad. I absolutely adore this book. It is amazing, perfect. I literally would not change a thing about it. This is top tier weird book for me. Rouge follows a girl who has just lost her mother, and she's kind of going through the process of grief, and so it's kind of through flashbacks and also present time that she is going through this process of grief, while also discovering that her mother fell down this deep rabbit hole of this very strange beauty brand, and she kind of gets sucked into it as well. And it's really, really incredible. I think that this is a retelling of some sort. Yeah, it's kind of like a Snow White retelling. Meets Eyes Wide Shut, which I have not read or seen. I don't even know what that is, but that's Rouge. Amazing. Would recommend you read this. Absolutely. It is, from what I understand, her most like strange work that she's written. But I still would recommend it as a good place to start as well. Next, I have probably my strangest book on this entire list. It is Paradise Rot by Jenny hval. This book was very weird. If you've read this book, you understand, you know. I read this on the New York subway. I had a really long subway ride a couple of times during the day, and it was very, very, very strange. I devoured this book in one sitting almost, and it was, the vibes were weird while I was reading the weird book, I will say that. But it's great. It follows a girl who has just moved into a new country for like a foreign exchange program, and she's looking for a roommate. She finds a roommate, they live together, and some really weird stuff starts to happen in their home that they share together. I definitely would recommend this book, but maybe kind of look up a general trigger warning list, I guess. Just make sure you're into weird stuff before you read this book, because it's weird. I have Tinder is the Flesh, which is another super popular book online. It's an amazing social commentary on kind of the meat industry as well as a lot of other things. It is about what would happen kind of in a sense if cannibalism became not only legalized but also the main news source of meat, basically. It follows our main male character as he works at the new version of this like meat packing industry, basically, and he works at a factory. He kind of creates this bond and kind of begins to realize that what he's doing may not be the best thing. This book, definitely look up trigger warnings as well. I'm sure by the synopsis of this book you can probably tell that it's going to be kind of gross, but it is very gory, very graphic, but it is a great read and really makes me think. I read this almost 2.5 years ago, I think, and I still think about it all the time. I have I Who Have Never Known Men. This book is weird, but it's probably the least weird on the list of books that I'm giving out. This book is just incredible, but it kind of fits into that sad weird girl lit starter pack, I would say. This book follows our main female character who has been living underground in this kind of cage with a bunch of other women for a very long time and can't remember anything about her past, unlike the other women who live there who can remember a little bit about their past. They don't know who they are though, and they don't know how they've gotten there, and once things begin to unravel, they kind of escape and they go out into the world and they begin to learn more about just the world in general. And it's a beautiful, beautiful story, and it really speaks on like loneliness and feeling kind of like you're in almost like a deserted area in a sense, even though you have a lot of people around you. So this is a great place to start if you're looking to get into some more odd books. Editing Ava here. You guys probably don't care too much about this, but my Canva decided to crash while I was mid-editing, and so the font that I've been able to use for this video is no longer working. So I'm going to name all of the books down in the description, including the last couple ones that I'm going to talk about here. So that's why there's no font, but whatever. So next up, we have one that's kind of in between. This is Carmilla. This one I'm in the middle of, actually. I just started reading this book a couple days ago. I'm absolutely loving it. This is what inspired, in a sense, Bram Stoker to write Dracula. and it's amazing. It's a story about two girls. One girl who is living a very lonely life, and another girl kind of gets into a carriage accident and kind of gets stuck living there. They begin to form a friendship, and then one of the girls kind of has some interesting things go on, and you can guess where that leads, this being a vampire story. But by the pictures that I've seen in this book, it is giving the same kind of vibes. I'll kind of show a little sneak peek of the one that I'm kind of thinking about, if I can find it. But it's giving, yeah, it's giving very Nosferatu vibes as well. But the pictures in this book are absolutely beautiful. This is, I think, my favorite one. It's gorgeous. I love it. But so far this book is really amazing, and definitely adding to the list of kind of some weird girl books to read. The next book on my list that I can't wait to read is going to be Luster. I'm super excited for this book. I actually just got it yesterday, so I'm adding it to the top of my TBR. This kind of follows a woman, and she has just met another man who is in an open relationship with rules, and it kind of discusses their relationship and kind of their journey as well. Last but certainly not least, I have All's Well by Mona Awad. I haven't read this one. This is one of two Mona Awad books that I haven't read yet, but I'm super excited. It follows our main female character as she has chronic pain and deals with that, and she's also kind of like a drama instructor basically, and she's determined to put on Shakespeare's play All's Well that oh my gosh, can we not? This is what I have to deal with when I'm filming every single time, because they want to sit right there every time I film anything. But yeah, Miranda, she's determined to put on All's Well That Ends Well by Shakespeare. That is all that I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you have any other suggestions or any books that you've read or you think that I should put on my radar, please comment them down below. And let me know also what kind of videos you'd like to see from me in the future. I'm having so much fun with this channel, and I really appreciate you watching my video. Like, comment, and subscribe, and love you.